A magnificent setting for the first big league on a Friday night, and Dean Bell leading out the team of champions. Wigan, of course, playing tonight in their change strip of blue and white. They won some silverware between them last season, didn't they? The Stones Bit of Championship trophy on your right and the second division trophy on the left. And what a reception for the home side. Sheffield Eagles led out for this opening fixture by their captain Darryl Powell. Substitutes for the two sides, Ian Hughes and Hugh Waddell for Sheffield, and for Wigan the first chance that we get to have a look at Jason Robinson, known as Billy Whiz in the dressing room, and Ian Lucas. He was 15. Martin Crompton knows he played well for half an hour in the Charity Shield up in Gateshead last week, and knows that he's under the microscope again tonight. He fills in for Andy Gregory. And a debut for Neil James in the second row tonight. 30-year-old James saw service with Leeds, Castleford and Halifax. 2 Wembley appearances for Halifax, including a try against Wigan in the Challenge Cup final of 1988. Quick check on the Sheffield Eagles lineup. The problem has been at hooker, where Farrell moves up from 13, so James comes into 12 and Carr fills in for Farrell, who is usually the loose forward. Sean Edwards, top try scorer last season with 40 touchdowns, and he all wound up for this match. The broken thumb he picked up in the Kiwi International in the summer, now fully healed. There's the Wigan lineup. No late scares for them. The only one that Sam Panapa had to play at 2 because Frano Botica tweaked a hamstring in training last night. Match referee Robin Whitfield from Widnes, the 1992 referee of the year, and he tells us that his 4-year-old son Sean is being allowed to stay up late tonight and watch the big league here on Sky tonight and every Friday, we hope. Dean Bell on the treatment table this week, but fully recovered from any knocks that he might have taken in the Charity Shield at Gateshead last Sunday. So this is the start of the big league for 1992-93. We're live and exclusive from the Don Valley Stadium. Sheffield Eagles against Wigan. Mike Stevenson, no better place to start than this.
Oh, wonderful atmosphere. Great players on display. This is the reason why it's called the greatest game of all.
Mark Aston gets this match underway, kicks the championship off, and a big mistake from Aston right away. His kickoff sails out of play on the full.
Well, nerves obviously playing a huge part, and the Wigan side well left indeed. A strong kick there from the number 7, and it looks as though Wigan will take the 2 points on offer.
It means a penalty right on the halfway line. Joe Lydon has been the man selected to take over from Frano Botica as the goal kicker. And although he's half the length of the field away from those posts, Lydon given the chance to get Wigan's scoreboard moving very early on indeed.
Well, it's a good psychological ploy, this, because it gives the Sheffield side plenty to think about in the opening minute. They know they've made the mistake.
He can kick them from this distance. He has the distance, but he didn't have the direction. And so the Eagles able to bring it away with Charlie McAllister. And he's impeded as he tried to regain his feet by Dennis Betts. Penalty Eagles.
Referee Robin Whitfield, very quick to get towards this. Holding down there by Betts.
Not a particularly auspicious start then. 2 penalties in the opening minute. That's what it's all about. Broadbent coming in on Kelvin Skerrett. Start to work the ball through the forwards now. Platt, Cassidy, Skerrett, they all met Neil James. This is Andy Young. It's Dale Lawton, rather. Wonderful run. Paul Broadbent. An elbow used to halt Paul Carr, and Andy Platt pulled out.
Well, I've seen players get sent off for less than that, I'm afraid. There was no attempt from Platt. You can see him. He just used the shoulder, and he gave him another one on the way down. Well, Robin Whitfield allowing Platt the benefit of the doubt there. He made no attempt to tackle, just threw the shoulder and a swinging arm to boot. And I get the impression that Mr. Platt is quite relieved. I've seen people walk for less.
Andy Platt, a new 2-year deal this week, makes him one of the best paid players in the game. But that foul has given Mark Aston the chance to get Eagles off to a flying start. The kick's a good one, and Mark Aston, 25-year-old halfback, called into the tour to replace Andy Gregory in the summer, gives Sheffield Eagles the first 2 points of the new season. Andy Platt, the man penalised.
Lack of discipline there by the Wigan second rower, allowing Sheffield to put the first points on the board.
So Steve Hampson will restart. Wigan haven't won on the opening fixture since John Money joined them. You have to go back to 1988 for their last victory on day one, and they're up against it now. It looks like there's a record crowd inside the Don Valley Stadium tonight. Crowd still coming in as Farrell drives it down the middle for the Eagles. A really big night. A fireworks display to end the evening, and fireworks on the pitch here as Robin Whitfield's whistle blows again.
Catching Sean Edwards going high. Bit of a swinging arm earlier in that tackle. Powell looks to the referee. The penalty is awarded. Well, we said that this would be a fiery opener, but Wigan really are fired up, aren't they?
Certainly are, and referee Robin Whitfield has just said to them all, just cut it out, keep the tackles low. Sheffield Eagles warming to this task. Broadbent drops it. Now it's a bit of a scramble for who's got it. Referee decides to go for the knock-on.
Ball just floating past Broadbent there. That was a poor mistake. There we see it on the replay. And that's a shame, really, because Sheffield have found quite a few gaps in these opening minutes through their forwards. Wigan once again having trouble with that defensive line.
This is Bell. Sheffield Eagles just 2 points to the good. It's now Panapa. Now Skerritt. Skerritt had a touch of asthma after the Charity Shield last week. Fully recovered. This is Betts. Cassidy, the man at dummy half. Philip Clark. Good tackling this from Sheffield Eagles. That's the last one. Back to Lydon to hoist downfield. Price was in to try and block it, but it couldn't get the block on it, and the ball takes a very nice little bounce. That was a googly, all right.
It's amazing what rugby league football can do. There you saw David Plange had no chance with that. Lydon put a lot of bias on that one.
Ashton feeds the scrum, gets the possession for the Eagles. Darryl Powell, 20 caps, 19 of them consecutive for his country. Anthony Farrell looks a bit like Ellery Hanley, doesn't he? Has the same haircut, has the same build. There's Anthony Farrell, the Ellery Hanley look-alike. Aston. Good ball across to Powell. Slight misunderstanding, but Maiko has it, and another penalty against Wigan. Well, Platt can't believe it, but he's been pulled out again.
Well, there's no doubt about it. You'll see in the replay, in he comes. Whack. Well, the intent was to go high. Robin Whitfield will have none of it, and quite frankly, Wigan should get the word out to calm things down. They're losing the composure.
Big penalty count against them already. Broadbent takes play to the Wigan 20. That's Lawton. Big things predicted for the young number 10 of Sheffield Eagles. Neat play.
Sheffield quite happy. They feel that they've got the better of the Wigan forwards here. They're playing it very tight.
This now is James. £2,000 buy. That's all he cost from Leeds. Powell looking for the opening. Powell. Wigan just snapped the door shut. But they're so close, only 5 metres. Young, the dummy half. Aston, that's a good ball to Farrell. Farrell fought for the opening that appeared for him, and he was on the way to 4 points, but it's the turnover after 6 tackles.
Oh, lovely play by the Sheffield Eagles. Aston just set that ball up. Wonderful for the hooker, Farrell, to come through. And Panipa is in dear trouble. He doesn't know where he is.
Surrendered that ball to the Eagles. He is Farrell. Panipa not cold by that tackle. Now, can Sheffield Eagles get something from this? Great pressure on this Wigan line. That's Andy Young in possession. Oh, there's no one there. Big mistake. Betts was to it first. Oh, the referee's given it to Aston. Gives him the benefit of the doubt. There was no one standing in the dummy half position. This is Powell, away from 2. Over the top to Farrell. Oh boy, Wigan know that they're in a match tonight. Little grubber kick ahead. That's good defence, though, from Michael Cassidy.
Good thinking on both parts here. Aston, the little halfback, pushes it through. There you saw Cassidy down to it. Courageous play there from the hooker.
Well, Wigan, they suffered the defeat in the Charity Shield on Sunday. It ended their run of 25 consecutive victories. Platt being held down as he tried to regain his feet. Penalty.
Well, referee Whitfield has warned the players. There you can see Platt appealing to the referee. How long do I have to go on before I get the penalty? Whitfield gave him the...
Andy Young, the man who was penalised. Skerritt now driving it down the middle for Wigan. They're now in the Sheffield Eagles half of the field. 10 minutes gone. The Eagles have the lead. Cassidy finds Crompton. Ball turned inside to McGinty. McGinty on the half break. And just hauled down by Paul Carr. Edwards and Crompton. Edwards again. Cassidy on his own from the dummy half spot. That's how close Wigan are to that Sheffield Eagles line. Now with Crompton. Crompton looked to release. Gives it in the end to Edwards. Edwards helps it on to McGinty. McGinty on his own. Penalty against Sheffield Eagles. And Dale Lawton going in high again.
Well, I wonder how long Robin Whitfield is going to stand for this. McGinty pushes him through. He deemed that Lawton went high with the arm. Well, it looked to me as though he was just grabbing. He caught one. McGinty, every right to move forward. But Lawton caught one underneath the chin. Referee Robin Whitfield didn't see it that way. Penalty going to Wigan. This should be a gift.
Yes, a kicker of Joe Lydon's quality should pop this one over and mean it's all square at 2 apiece. Lydon doesn't take any time at all, and now it is all square. Penalty apiece. Aston for Sheffield Eagles, Lydon just for Wigan. 2 points all, and we can go downstairs and talk to the man that Lydon has taken the job of goal kicking away from tonight because he's injured, Frano Botica, who's with Peter Hutton.
Well, Frano, no mistakes with Joe's first kick anyway.
No, he missed a few last night, but he got that one over, so it'll boost his confidence, I think.
What do you make of the first 10 minutes or so?
Well, I think Wigan, their discipline's let them down a little bit. They've given Sheffield a couple of penalties, and they've got a few points, and they've got on a bit of a roll. So luckily we went back down in their half. We got 2 more points back, so you know, we've got to play it down in their territory and hopefully get some points on.
You're out tonight, why?
I'm just straining my hamstring, so I thought it better that I'd miss this game and get it right before I come back too early and pull it or something like that. So.
And just finally, a reaction to the big news from Wigan this week, the signing of Andrew Farrar. It's going to be tough competition for the backs again.
It certainly will be. Thankfully, I'm not a centre, so it won't be too bad for me, and I hope he doesn't kick too many goals. So it'll be great for Wigan, and it'll put pressure on players, and it'll help us all perform a lot better, I think.
Thanks, Frano.
Pressure on first-team players is what it's all about. 5 tackles gone for Wigan. They're still just outside their own quarter line. They're not now, thanks to that towering kick from Lydon. He's made Gamson turn back towards his own post. Gamson makes about 10-15 metres before he's clobbered by McGinty and Platt. Aston gives it now to David Plange. David Plange, formerly with Castleford. Now is Andy Young. Ashton is in at the dummy half position. This is Broadbent. Wigan's defence keen to move up quickly. Lawton falls to the floor by Skerritt.
After a shaky start, Eddie, they've sorted themselves out in that defence, especially in the forwards. They were being caught a little bit in and around the dummy half position.
Well, what a man to give the ball to from the kick ahead. It was a fire. This now is Crompton. Lydon at dummy half. Betts. Plenty of penalties in the opening 14 minutes of this match. And, of course, the new edict from the Rugby League is that they're trying to stamp out the head-high tackles this season. Edwards and Skerritt. Shoulder to the wheel from Kelvin Skerritt. Oh, a little elbow there for Farrell for his trouble. Edwards and Bell through the gap. Bell, well watched by Broadbent. Referee's arms aloft. That means it's the 5th and final tackle. Crompton tries to kick ahead, and the ball just runs dead. A very narrow in-goal area here at the Don Valley Stadium. And those kicks really have to be precision if they're going to come off.
My word, extremely narrow, as you mentioned, Eddie. Crompton took the option there for the little kick through, and the Wigan players really weren't aware that it was on. Robin Whitfield just having a little talk to Skerritt and Anthony Farrell. A little bit of a skirmish there in the back play.
I wonder if it was a legacy of that little elbow in the face when the 2 players clashed earlier on. Peter Hutton's got some details, I do believe.
Just off the play, the 2 players squaring up at each other. No blows actually thrown, but they were there giving a bit of a shout at each other. Look at that elbow. That's what started all. Skerritt on Farrell.
Kelvin Skerritt, with the referees in their sort of mood that they obviously are this season, he's going to watch himself. Can't afford to do things like that. Dean Bell insisting that Micah was pulling him back here, I think.
Well, Powell got the ball away there. You can see Micah overrun it.
Definite obstruction, that.
No worries about that. A little bit of nerves about it all going through, the referee and all the players. Things do get a little bit rusty at the start.
It's all square, 2 points each. This opening Friday night fixture in the big league, the Stones Bidder Championship. Wigan the champions. Great tackle that by Paul Carr on his opposite number, Phil Clark. The champions of Divisions 1 and 2 in action for you here today. Was that forward? Referee's happy. Hanson carries it on to the Sheffield Eagles quarter line. Panapa, Edwards, switches the direction of the attack to Cassidy. Wigan again, inside the danger zone. Platt. And that ball went to ground. The referee this time, though, said it went backwards. Play on. And this is the last one, is it? That's the last tackle. It's the turnover. And there's a few cheap shots going in out there.
There's a lot of cheap shots. All the players, they're niggling each other. There's a lot of talk about each other. It's all pressure now.
Eagles trying to get out of that danger zone. Broadbent.
There's no love lost out there, Eddie. There's some big shots going in.
McAllister's kick ahead, charged down by Clark. Oh, and Gampson had to be quick. Dean Bell was onto that in a flash. Gampson came across and swept up. It's now McAllister. It was his kick charged down, and McAllister has been dragged in, Plange rather, has been dragged into touch. McAllister it was dragged in, Plange tried to rescue him.
Well, you saw the face on David Plange there. Most upset with the other winger, Charlie McAllister. He took the option on the blind side. There was no room there.
Wigan have the possession then. Edwards and Hampson just couldn't get away from those two who moved in so quickly. Lydon. Great intensity out there, Mike, for this opening fixture. As a fire, jinks past one, tries to go round Gampson. Gampson really just fell on him, and his weight brought him down. Wigan still on the charge, though, with Platt again. Edwards called for that. That's a good ball from Edwards. Dean Bell on all fours. Last one. Wigan again, just 8 metres from the line. Betts. Oh, if he'd have touched on that, he'd have been down for the 4 points.
Well, the referee, Robin Whitfield, will play the knock-on. Crompton sends it through. He took his eyes off the ball there. Did the second rower, Dennis Betts. 4 points gone wasted. They could rue that mistake.
On the last tackle, so referee says it's the turnover. Right in front of the sticks. Eagles have got to get away from there. Oof, and he was dumped unceremoniously. Handling errors all square, scoreboard all square, 2 points apiece. That's a relieving kick. Just takes the pressure off. Mark Aston saw the gap and went for it.
Good thinking here. Look at the number 7. Realise there's no one at home. Playing against the wind, Sheffield, in this first half. Kept the ball very low. Excellent thinking.
Very promising scrum half, Mark Aston. Crompton feeds the Wigan scrum, gets the possession back. This is Bell. Midway through this first half, nothing to choose between the champions of the second and the champions of the first. McGinty on the charge. That's good tackling.
Interesting to see there that Wigan did the runaround, but Sheffield weren't fooled by it. They didn't have any dummy runners at all, Wigan. They've got to lift their game a little bit, I'm afraid.
Well, the record crowd, as it looks now inside this stadium, warming to this match. It's the last tackle. Edwards, and the call was to let it go.
Here you see in the replay, Edwards far too strong. Well left. And another mistake. That will do them no good whatsoever.
David Plange heard the call, ducked underneath it, ball out on the full, so he comes back to where the kick was taken. Broadbent hanging on under pressure from Cassidy and Betts. Now this is Lawton, always strong and able to run. Lawton, whenever the ball is with him. Powell, stand-up half tonight, centre for his country. And that's Andy Young. This is Aston again. That's a good ball, and so is that. Carr tried to get the pass out to McAllister. Hampson just got a touch to it.
Oh, that was a shame there. It was wonderful football. They supported the player well. Carr just trying to be a little bit too fancy there. Should have gone to ground with the ball. but they're making inroads into this Wigan defence. They're playing with a lot of confidence, Sheffield.
Platt, the man who is leading from the front, that's Philip Clark. This is Dean Bell, and there's Crumpton, the supporting act. Great ball from Crumpton. Oh, super try, Wigan. They've snapped from defence to attack. The hole was drilled, Crumpton was through it, looked inside for Edwards, and Edwards did what he did so often last season, came up in support and touchdown.
The Stones bit of championship replay. Dean Bell gets Crumpton away, and won't this do a lot for his confidence? He kept cool and calm, and the man that's been doing it for many years, but especially last season, Shaun Edwards in for a great try. The switch back inside, the New Zealander Bell, you notice that the defence didn't move across. The gap was there. The support play was superb. He loves doing that, Shaun Edwards. That was excellent play.
Shaun Edwards in his benefit season, 40 tries last year, leading the scoring charts, off the mark already after just 23 minutes of this big league fixture on the Friday night. Lydon adds the extra 2. Wigan have the advantage. Sheffield Eagles 2 and Wigan 8.
Well, there you can see. Notice that the ball comes in. Let's just hold it there. Now you see the gap. They had not moved across. That was where the problem came. That's where the gap comes, and that resulted in 4 points.
Substitution. Ian Hughes, wearing 14, has come on. Neil James has been taken off by Gary Hetherington, and Wigan, I notice, warming a couple of subs up as well. Well, looking down below me on that Wigan bench, all smiles at the moment. 8 points to 2. The Wigan side are ahead. Ian Lucas, I notice, is stripped and ready to come on. Is he about to be introduced, Peter Hutton?
Now he'll be on. With him too, Frano Botica preparing to go on too. The men they'll replace are on the wing, Sam Panapa, rather not Frano Botica. Jason Robinson coming on for Sam Panapa, and Ian Lucas will come on for Kelvin Skerritt. No injuries, it's just a case of Wigan rotating.
And here goes McGinty. Oh, wonderful play from McGinty. The strength of the big second rower. He simply brushed Anthony Farrell aside, and Wigan are on the roll here with Lydon. Gives it to Clark, Clark to Edwards, Edwards to Crumpton, he gives it to Cassidy. Oh, Wigan running riot at the moment, but Cassidy's dropped it. Crumpton hacks it forward, and McAllister drops on it gratefully, but good play from Wigan up to the death there.
Well, Cassidy had that ball reefed away from him. You can't blame him for that. But he was the man that started the move. It was a lovely pass that sent McGinty through. Good play by Wigan.
25 minutes gone. Wigan in the driving seat, and Edwards taking Gamson a bit high. Robin Whitfield wants a word.
Well, this is the second time that Edwards has been called out by Robin Whitfield. He's not happy with him. You see on the replay, no doubt about it, he touched the shoulder first, but it was an upward movement. The intent was there.
The referee is telling Dean Bell, his captain, that any more from Shaun Edwards, and Edwards will be off. I think that message was clear to everybody in the stadium.
And rightly so. The referees have to start if they're going to clamp down on high tackles. It's no good waiting for someone to be seriously injured before they take action.
Jason Robinson, Ian Lucas just waiting their chance to come on. Sheffield Eagles in possession. Had such a bright start, did the Eagles. 2 points ahead, but now they're feeling the full weight of this Wigan machine. And this is Hughes, Ian Hughes, the man on for Neil James. Powell looking for support. Over the top it went. Aston was the man who reacted first, but Aston then releases the pass and surrenders possession back to Wigan and Dean Bell.
Now you'll notice on the replay, look how professional Dean Bell, he got in between. If the pass was coming, he could intercept it.
Here's Platt, delayed the pass to Skerritt, he gave it to Betts. Betts has given it to a fire. Can a fire first try of the season. It was simply no contest against poor Mark Gampson. A fire left him for dead.
Stone's bit of championship replay gives you the indication that if you keep the ball out wide quickly, that's what happened. He was a superb pass from Betts, but wasn't that pretty. That was sheer class. They say that this man just has speed. Well, I'm afraid, take a look at this. Skerrett on the Betts. Nice pass, he held back. This is poetry. In and out, step and stride. The crowd go wild, and why not? That is rugby league at its best. Wonderful 4 points and great play from Wigan.
Great build-up, wonderful finish. He really skinned the full-back, did Martin Afai. Lydon with a difficult conversion, but Lydon makes it look so easy. And Wigan now are very much in the driving seat.
You see how the ball is passed very quickly. Quick hands again. Betts makes a gap. You see that the centres come through. Let's just stop it there. You see, they're too slow in coming away, but he has the speed. Let it roll on. Let's see this finish. Oh, great play. Wonderful play.
There we go. Martin Afai, and that's the scoreline. And Sheffield Eagles must feel that Wigan have hit them with an avalanche in the last 7 or 8 minutes of this first half. Well, Wigan have made 2 substitutions while Afai was running that try in. Lucas has come on for Skerrett, and Jason Robinson has come on for Sam Panapa. And it's Jason Robinson's debut. Such a lot is thought of him. That's Ian Lucas, tourist. But here's Crompton. Isn't he having a game and a half? And he's given it to Edwards. And Edwards has danced in for try number 2. Easy, easy, the Wigan crowd chant on the far side. And easy, easy it is. Great try again.
The Stones bit a championship replay. Crompton, look at the dummy. I'm afraid that Sheffield were caught napping there. They didn't move up right. Andy Young was caught in no man's land. The step from Edwards is enough. Look at the support that Wigan had. Ball out to Crompton. They expected the long ball. He threw it the dummy. There you see the gap. Poor Andy Young was left stranded. And once again, support play at its best. Shaun Edwards in for the try.
He loves scoring tries. And even though Wigan have ran in the 3rd touchdown of this first half, Edwards imploring his men for even greater effort. Lydon with the conversion attempt. Missed it this time.
You'll see Crompton throw the dummy. Now let's just stop it there. You see how they've left the gap. The man's coming in, that's Andy Young. He's caught out. The gap appears, support play. That's how you get a great try.
18-2. 31 minutes of this first half gone. Hugh Waddell comes on and Dale Lawton goes off. Both coaches mixing and matching their sides. And that was a real nutbag for Billy McGinty.
Well, this really makes you feel like a goat, doesn't it? Straight through the legs.
It touched a Wigan player on the way. It's a Sheffield Eagles scrum. They desperately need a try up to half-time. This is Maiko. Eagles trailing by 16 points after briefly holding a 2-point advantage. Waddell, 1988 tourist for Great Britain. This is Carr. Eagles up this end for the first time for a while. Farrell threw Sean Edwards off the ball then. Aston gives the ball to Young. Wigan desperately keen in defence, but that's how close the Eagles are. And that's Broadbent, and Broadbent's just hold back. They can score tries with gay abandon. They don't want to concede them. McAllister! And Wigan defends stoutly.
Oh, good play from both sides. Excellent little short passes, good running. But Wigan's defence equal to the task.
They're serving notice, Mike. There were one or two people, and I must say, one or two people in this commentary box who thought that perhaps there was a crack or two on display last week in the Charity Shield. But when it gets down to business, Wigan get down to it.
Well, they're a talented side, so many great players out there. It would be silly to write them off after that first game, yes. I'm not saying that we suggested that, but as we did mention that there would be a few problems with Crompton, the new halfback, settling in. Well, I think he's dispelled any problems there.
Yes, he's had a marvellous first half as Crompton. And that ball was touched in flight. Crompton was the man who brought Mark Gamson down. And Gamson didn't have any time at all to settle himself. There's Crompton. Wonderful opening half hour here for him. And Eagles must be wondering what on earth has hit them. Aston again dabs the ball downfield. Hampson reads it.
You really have got to admire the talents of Mark Aston. He's producing some lovely little short passes.
There's Jason Robinson. First view of him in front of the Sky cameras tonight. Little half-back. Only 17. Considerably older than that is Billy McGinty. And here's Lucas. Tremendous when you can bring on a prospect like Robinson and a player of Lucas's quality and only use them as substitutes. That's the strength of Wigan in depth. A towering kick. Gamson's underneath it. Does well, Gamson. But Betts followed up and hauled him down.
Oh, he kept his cool there, didn't he, Gamson? Eyes on the ball at all time. Good play.
Dennis Betts, the man who wheeled him in. Dennis Betts, 90th consecutive appearance for Wigan here tonight. What a record. Here's Darryl Powell. The Eagles at the moment simply can't get going. 18-2 down, 5 to go to half-time. Big job for Gary Handlington during the break, unless something comes here.
Get off him.
It's the last one. Aston again tries the little chip over the top. It's come up for him. Lovely ball to Farrell, and Anthony Farrell brings the try for Sheffield Eagles that they so desperately needed to keep in this match. Wonderful individual skills from Aston, and Farrell the man following up.
Stone's bit of championship replay. Aston, wonderful talent here. Look how he's looking at that ball all the time. Crompton clicks him, can't get him. But great support play by the hooker. He's impressed me, this young lad here, Anthony Farrell. You see the kick. Now the Wigan defence expected the long kick downfield. But Aston, eyes on the ball at all time. Oh, wonderful support play there by the hooker. And Farrell fully deserves it. Sheffield back in the game.
Anthony Farrell, emergency hooker, the 22-year-old. Club record signing, £55,000 from Huddersfield. Mark Aston. Now looking to improve that Anthony Farrell try. He's missed it. They could have done with that. It's 6-18 in Wigan's favour.
Let's see it again. Wonderful talent here. Now look at the kick there. Let's just stop it. You see the Wigan defence, they just stood there expecting the long kick. The gap was there. That was good play and good thinking by Aston.
Eagles, Eagles. The cry goes up from the crowd inside the Don Valley. They've given Wigan the start. It'll be one of the victories of all time if they come back and win this. Whoa, that was a brave piece of play. And one of the Wigan players, it's Philip Clark, has taken a bang on the head as he chased the loose ball.
Oh, he showed no fear there, Clark, but really did cop a bad one there. Collision. The ball coming through. Oh, he's collided on his knee, I think, on Gampson's knee. And wisely, Robin Whitfield quickly halted play. You don't mess around when there's injuries to the head. Good thinking by the referee there.
Indeed so. And I just wonder what might have happened if Clark wasn't wearing the skull cap. He'll certainly have a king-size headache. Let's hope it's no more than that. Here it is again. Loose ball off Gampson's feet originally, and woof, bang, what a collision that was with the knee.
No doubt about it. Comes through, catches the knee. And thankfully, Clark, he's definitely moving the legs. That is a good sign. If you can get a good sign out of someone being injured, but there you can see Clark's legs moving. But I think that Wigan probably won't take the risk.
Well, he certainly felt it. There's no doubt about that.
Well, as you say, Eddie, let's hope that it's not a bad injury. Maybe you can see the trainer, how many fingers, checking for concussion.
Philip Clark, one of the game's brightest prospects in this country. Thankfully, he looks all right. Slight concussion maybe, but I'm all right, I'm all right. There's Dave Fever and the club doctor just checking him over, and we're so close to half-time. Probably very wise that Clark just takes a breather, and so Kelvin Skerritt will come back on. Clark's walking, he's almost totally compos mentis, but obviously just have a breather, last couple of minutes of this half, and then through the half-time interval.
Sensible thinking there.
And Peter Hutton's got news of Philip Clark and the damage.
The good news is there's no cuts to the head. It's just a serious case of concussion. That's what they brought him off, but there's no actual wounds there on the head.
A high one for Hansen to watch all the way, which he does. Into the stoppage time in this first half. There will be a bit of that now. And Sheffield Eagles caught offside. So the penalty taking Wigan ever closer to that Sheffield Eagles try line again. Here's Skerritt on for the injured Clark. Cassidy to Edwards. Edwards to Platt. The support there. Penalty against Sheffield Eagles. I think for...
He's caught Mark Aston for holding Sean Edwards. He tackled him before he received the ball. That's good refereeing. Aston trying to get away with it, shaking his head in disbelief, but on the replay, it was plain and clear.
Referee right on the mark there, right on the button. So another penalty to Wigan, and that's the angle and the distance that Joe Lydon has. 18-6, Wigan ahead. And Wigan ahead, 20 points to 6. Deep in injury time in this first half. Sheffield Eagles 6, Wigan 20. And 42 minutes of this first half now played. Hampson traps it, gets it second attempt. Oof, Waddell took a right swipe at that ball, the play of the ball. Missed it, unfortunately missed the player.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. Hampson's going away limping.
Doesn't look too pleased, does he? Bell. That's a great break from Bell. Lucas is there. Betts is there. Dennis Betts. It's try time for Wigan again. Well, the backs can score them. The forwards can score them. Every one of this Wigan team can score tries. They hit you from every corner of the ground.
The Stones Bitter Championship replay shows the Wigan skipper throwing the dummy. Dean Bell, not noted for his speed, but certainly accelerated well then. He had a choice of 3 Wigan players. He decided on the tall, striding second rower, and Betts in for a good try. Once again, the Sheffield defence caught napping. They did not move up in a line. I'm afraid it was Andy Young again that went early, left that gap. He took the dummy. The ball was passed on to this man, and the joy is written all over his face.
The conversion attempt from Joe Lydon just a few moments ago, as you were watching that, was sound. So Wigan have a half-time score of 26 points to 6. Now, the last time that they were here, just a couple of years ago, Wigan won by 46 points to 4. And Wigan are well on their way to another victory here.